So this project is a CSI as a coordination and support action. So the project started in October and will last at the end of September 2023. The project wants to explore the circular bioeconomy potential in cities and wants to create proactive tools for implementation by policymakers and stakeholders. We have in this project 3 pilots, one in Napoli, one in Barcelona, and one in Pazardek in Bulgaria. In this project, we have 2 research technology organizations. One is well known in Italy, is Enea. The other one is in List, Luxembourg, and one SME in Estonia, Civita. 2 public authorities. One is the metropolitan city of Naples, and the other one is the metropolitan area of Barcelona. And then 3 no-profit associations. One is the NT Foundation, and the other one is ACR Plus. And the third one is the Regional Energy Agency of Pazardek. So first, maybe I would like to share with you one of the main, one of the preliminary results that we have from this project. And we have this, I think it's a really nice video. So I hope that I can share with you the video. So basically, the challenge of this project is trying to go towards a green and sustainable transition. But this requires more circular bioeconomy strategies. To do that, we need to use or try to use the potential of circularity. And to do that, we need to think about a profound change into waste hierarchy. We need to think that a waste, the bio-waste in this case, because we concentrate on this kind of flow, needs to be perceived as a resource, not as a discard material. And this requires also a reconciliation of legislation, waste management, circularity, and bioeconomy. The project aim is supporting the development of innovative and comprehensive regulatory frameworks and roadmaps aligned with the circular bioeconomy principle. As I said before, the main flow is bio-waste. And this is also based on the feedback from a multi-actor participatory process. We are going to analyze case studies, good practices. Actually, this part of the project was, this part of the activity was more or less already developed. And this will be done, and it has been done at European level and at pilot level. And the important part of the stakeholders at local level is the possibility to ask them feedback about real barrier, real opportunities to let biocircular economy enter into the market. So the project, as I told you before, started at the beginning of October 2021. And what it has been done until now was a selection of bio-waste management chains, and it was mapped the relevant stakeholders involved in those chains. Now we are going to start the LCA and LCC of the selected bio-waste chains. And also it was done analysis of policy framework and good practices of circular bioeconomy. Then the second step will be identify the potential improvement of the current bio-waste management chains, and getting inspired by the good practices existing both at local level and also at European level, we can use those successful example as a successful example for the pilot. And also this will be done with the help of local stakeholder during local living labs, and also with the help of experts. And that will be done by review meeting with those experts. And at the end, what we are going to have is a guideline for the implementation of bio-waste management, adopting a circular bioeconomy approach and webinars, and a web-based tool to assist policymakers to design in the preliminary phase the bio-waste management strategy. So, Biocircularcity will focus each time on one specific bio-waste value chain. And it will be investigated the possibility to make that kind of waste or that kind of chain a little bit more circular. So for Barcelona, the bio-waste from municipal solid waste was selected as a chain to study. And the idea is trying to incentivize quality and quantity of bio-waste separately collected in the area of Barcelona. And it will be also explore the possibility to produce added value bioproduct, such as, well, we will see later, but it will be basically biomethane to be used in transportation. For the metropolitan city of Naples, the chain where we are going to concentrate is the bio-waste from agro-industrial sector. That was a really tricky stream because there are not many data available on that. So we accepted that treat, let's say. And what we are going to try to do is improving the bio-waste management system of the region encompassing urban, agriculture, and industrial areas with important biomass production activity and an important food supply chain. For Pazardik, maybe is less known, this place. It is in Bulgaria. So for Pazardik, that is a region, really mountainous region. We concentrate on bio-waste from agroforestry sector. And we are going to try to tackle unexploited bio-waste from the agriculture and the forestry sector. As I told you before, we are going to ask a local stakeholder to give us feedback. And we are going to do that along the entire project, thanks to the organization of living labs. The strength of the project. The fact that we are going to build a collaborative knowledge together with local stakeholders. We are going to build a holistic picture on the legal and market barrier and opportunities in the 3 case study areas to make it possible to check the applicability of the identified best practices and other feasible solutions. And then formulating guidelines and policy recommendations. Sometimes when we think that maybe a kind of technology can be implemented in a place, there are some barriers that are coming from legislative world. So it is important to understand what is done until now, what are the documents, the legislation implemented in the area, and check if we have to change something. So basically, this project wants to analyze that. And to do that, we are going to analyze these 3 main chains that we selected. So preliminary result, as you can see here, 3 territories were studied. And we can see that when you see here different documents means that we analyzed different kind of legislation, plans, program at European and at pilot level. So we could identify the scenario, the general scenario, and what is available now, okay? Then what we have done in this first part is a classification of the document by type of waste, sector, topic, subtopic. This will be really helpful because sometimes you have a, when we talk about policy framework, we have a long list of legislation, and it's kind of difficult to filter them. So what we have developed is a simple list in the file Excel, but with identified topics, subtopics, and this will make it possible to filter by this type of words, let's say. So it will be easier to check that specific regulation and identify and study more in detail in a second moment of the project. What we saw from this first analysis is that most of the regulation does not tackle with specific waste. So you have general document, general legislation regarding different kind of waste. This could be a problem, not, but well, we are going to identify that and understand that. And also, waste management and administration issues are the main issue. Another classification was done by topic and subtopic. The main one is environmental protection. The second one is planification. And as you can see here, there are the main threat of each area. I don't want to go more in detail on that because I don't think that we have so much time. But if we go now, we are going to check what we have done until now in the different pilots. In the metropolitan area of Barcelona, this is the current municipal waste management system. And what we can see here is that the separate collection rate is 37.6%. And normally what is happening here in the metropolitan area of Barcelona is if we concentrate on bio-waste and also residual waste, because it's where there's still some important part of bio-waste that could be also catched, we can see that the bio-waste is going to anaerobic digestion or composting plant, while residual waste is going to mechanical and biological treatment plant. So the bio-waste chain selected in the metropolitan area of Barcelona is the bio-waste that is actually sent to a specific plant that is called EcoPark 2. And what we are going to study is, first, we are going to think if we can introduce some prevention measure. So if we can reduce the generation of bio-waste. So this will be the first part of the alternative scenario. Then we are going to change, we are going to study what about if we change the open container system, okay, for the bio-waste collection with the door-to-door or smart bin system. And then what we are going to do is using, let the waste going to the EcoPark, but what we are going to obtain from there is, well, the anaerobic digestion in this case, and then we are going to have the biogas. But what we are going to study, because this will be done, this project will be also, will be done on the paper. We are not going to develop that. This is a CSA project. But we are going to study what is the performance of this kind of project, of this kind of scenario, if we also obtain biomethane for the transportation sector. So I don't want to go in detail on that, but I wanted just to show you what we have done for the 3 pilots. What we have done was an exercise with the different local stakeholders. So we had to organize that online because of COVID situation. So we tried to ask them the main barrier and the main opportunities. So which are the main barrier, the criticalities, let's say, to make it possible the bio-waste from municipal solid waste a little bit more circular, how we can improve that. And different kind of conclusions were done on challenge. Just to show you something, there is a concern about separate collection and impurity in source separated bio-waste. Or it is important to make effort in communication regarding separate collection and use of bioproducts such as compost or other kind of product. And this was also done for potential solution, this kind of exercise. For the metropolitan city of Napoli, this is the current municipal solid waste management system in the area that we analyzed. And we can see that the separate collection rate is 47%. What is happening here? Similar to Barcelona, we have that bio-waste is separated, collected, and it's sent to anaerobic digestion and composting plant. The problem that we have in the metropolitan city of Napoli is the fact that most of this kind of treatment are outside of the region even. So we are talking about the 63%. So 63% of bio-waste is sent outside of the region to the treatment, the biological treatment. So it is important to change that if we want to keep the treatment within the region. And this is the chain that it was selected. A specific chain was the coffee bio-waste. So a specific kind of bio-waste in the agro-industrial sector. And what is done until now is just that this kind of waste, this kind of bio-waste is sent to biological treatment. What we would like to study is trying to check the environmental performance and the economical performance, the technical performance of this kind of bio-waste, if it is going to produce bio-based functional ingredients. So this will be also analyzed. We have done the same exercise in Italy for identify criticalities and potential opportunities. So this is in Italian. So maybe people that are from Italy can read rapidly. But I don't want to go inside the exercise, just because I think that what is important is the fact that local stakeholders need to talk between each other. And if this is done in a platform where there is someone from outside that can, try to let everyone to speak, I think that this can let us to identify which are the real barriers and which are the real criticalities, the real opportunities and potential solutions. In the province of Pazardic, we have a completely different situation. Actually, for the municipal solid waste, only 3% is source separated. This is because a lot of, as you can see from the slide, 85% of municipal solid waste is sent directly to landfill. This is really a big problem. And only 3% is recycled. The chain where we are going to concentrate is the residual bio-waste from forestry. What we are going to check is if we can use the bio-waste from forestry that remain in forestry. That is the 35%. And what we are going to study, what we want to study is two options. First, the possibility to produce energy from this kind of bio-waste flows, and also try to produce biochemicals through lignocellulosic valorization. Of course, the energetic solution is not seen as really innovative, but in this kind of place could be innovative. Also because they have problem to have energy, and actually they don't have gas, and they have to use GPL. So if we can try to study this kind of solution, we can also help that kind of energy approvvigionamento. I don't know how to say in English. Well, the possibility to have this energy in at local level. Okay. So this was done the same exercise, and of course the conclusions are little bit different from the different situation. But what's next? And this is just the slide, the last slide. We have now, we are in the middle of the project. The project is just 2 years, and what we try to do is end this project with a set of policy recommendations. To do that, we need a life cycle analysis and life cycle cost of the 3 chains that we want to investigate. And in parallel, what we need is to identify specific barriers. So actually the next will be to meet again the same stakeholders, or we can also add other kind of stakeholders to check which are the legislative, environmental, economic, technical barriers. So we need to go more in deep to identify that. And we will do the same also for the opportunities. For example, the incentive for energy production could be, if it exists in the local framework, can be an opportunity, can be considered like an incentive, and can produce, can let you go towards that kind of technology. And the web-based tool will be developed in really easy way to support the first analysis that maybe policymakers or industries or research and technology organization want to do to analyze the situation, the current situation. And what we are going to have is also an overview of available and future technology on circular bioeconomy, apart from the more traditional composting and methanization, with the recommendation on how and when to use them. So that's it for my side.